Ayurveda, I feel, always help people rather than considering the other treatment modalities. Ayurveda helps people to recover from chronic diseases. So let we today also we are going to discuss the same with Ayurveda treatment modalities. They are Panchakarma. So let us start with a prayer. Mannatha Sri Jagannatha, Madguru Sri Jagadguru, Madatma Sarvabhutatma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. So let me bow my head to my teachers who taught Ayurveda and to see myself in others, which is the same. The Ayurveda modality is the same. It is said, Atmaiva satatam pashyed abhiketa pipilikam. Atma is self. Eva pashyed, you have to see yourself even in smaller insects. So a person who wishes to attain dharma, artha, kama and moksha should follow the measures mentioned in Ayurveda. See, this Ayurveda is mainly intended to protect the health by preventing diseases and helps in treating a diseased person. If considering a definition for health, Ayurveda very clearly specified that a person with balanced state of dosha, Agni, the digestive fire, Dhatu, Mala is called as Swastha or a healthy individual. If these dosha, Agni, Dhatu or Mala are not in equilibrium or in a balanced state, then that person should be considered as a diseased one. So Acharya Charaka enumerates 4 measures in treating a disease. They are Shodhana or purification, Shamana, controlling or the settlement, Ahara, wholesome food, or Achara is the routine. So dosha in degenerated state in the body, it has to be nourished in particular ways. The provoked doshas has to be settled, and the one which are in the aggravated state has to be purified by purificatory measures. The one doshas in equilibrium should be also protected. These purificatory measures takes prime importance among above said 4 measures enumerated by Acharya Charaka. Purificatory therapies eliminates toxins from the body. When an aggravated dosha get in touch with these above said dhatus or malas etc., these are also get vitiated and starts hampering the body. Then purificatory therapies are the best mode of treatment. Purification is again mainly intended for dosha dushti nirharana. Dosha dushti nirharana means elimination of toxins from the body. Dosha dushya samikarana, which means equilibrium of dosha and dushya is maintained. And also sroto vishuddhi, which means purification of channels. So by attaining all above three categories, a purification of body and mind together can be attained. So there are at times doshas cannot be treated by the treatment modalities called langhana, pachana, etc. So at that time, purification is the only mode of treatment. If this is done, the disease will not relapse. Purificatory therapies is further divided into Antaparimarjana or the Panchakarma procedures, Bahiparimarjana or the Purva Karma procedures. Purva Karma, which we will deal in further, Shastra Pranidhana or the Shastra, the yantras or the used for vena puncture, etc. kind of procedures. So today we will have a look into what exactly Panchakarmas are as an introduction. So Panchakarma is made by unition of two words, Pancha and Karma. Pancha is a numeric 5. Karma is a procedure which is done to attain fruitful results. This definition of karma is given in a Sanskrit book called Sara Manjari. So these panchakarmas are Vamana or the therapeutic emesis, Virechana, therapeutic purgation, Basti, enema therapy, Nasya, nasal instillation, and Rakta Mokshana or bloodletting. So before doing any procedures like main procedures, panchakarmas, there are some refining procedure has to be done. So these refining procedures mainly intended to take back or bring back the doshas which are scattered over the body and reached far parts. And these vitiated doshas taken back or bring back to the koshtha, which is the easier mode of, then will be the easier mode of elimination from the body. So these prior procedures or the refining procedures called as Purva Karma. Again, Purva Karma, the word is formed by unition of two words, Purva or Karma. Purva means prior. Karma, as said, it is a procedure to attain fruitful results. So there are mainly two kinds of Purva Karmas, Snehana or the oleation, Swedana or sudation. This, before doing Snehana and Swedana, one has to prepare the body to accept the oil which is supposed to intake during the oleation therapy. So that is attained through Deepana and Pachana, which is nothing but kindling the digestive fire. If the digestive fire is not kindled, the snehas or the oils used during the oleation therapy, which will not get digested, and it will hamper the body rather than curing the disease. So coming to the Purva Karma, the first one, Snehana, the word Sneha means affection. It also means the one adheres. So there are 4 types of snehas or the oil types. They are ghee, oil, fat, and marrow. They are of both animal and plant origins. Ghee, fat, and marrow are animal origins, and taila is a plant-based origin. So when the term ghee is used, normally in Ayurveda, 90% we use cow ghee. And in case of taila, the sesame oil is used. Snehana procedures, the oleation therapy are of 2 types. One which is done externally and the one done internally. The external oleation therapy is called Bahya Snehana, and the internal oleation therapy is called as Abhyantara Snehana. The Bahya ones, the external treatment modalities are Abhyanga, or the application of oil all over the body, Anjana, or the collyrium, Gandusha, or oil pulling, Shirobasti, or an oil pool made overhead, Karna Purana. Karna is ear, and Purana means filling. The oleation of ear by filling oil into it. Netra Tarpana. Netra is eye. Tarpana is again nourishing, the oleation of eyes, which we will deal in further classes. So next one is the Antarika Snehana, or the internal oleation therapies. They are that has to be ingested. They are eatables, or bhakshya, basti, or the enema therapy, nasya, or nasal instillation. So this snehapana, or the oleation therapies, drinking of or the specified oily material has to be done as per the digestive strength, time, climate, nature of the body, and also nature of the disease. All these parameters has to be assessed well before doing or going for a panchakarma therapy. The science, again, the science of proper oleation, which can be dealt in the further classes. Next, we will move on to the Svedana therapy, or the sudation. Svedana, the Sanskrit word which means to make one perspirate. This perspiration can be attained through particular procedures. So there are mainly two types of Svedana. There are Agni Svedana or Anagni Svedana. Agni is fire. So with the help of fire, if we are aiding someone to perspirate, it is considered under the Agni Sweda category. So these can be Tapa. There is a type of Svedana called Tapa Sweda. This can be attained like in winter season, there will be fire. We will be showing our, you will be showing our hands to the fire, and we will be rubbed, and we will be keeping on our body parts. So this is considered under one type of Svedana therapy. So but through this, the temperature, the reason why we are doing it in the winter season is to maintain the temperature. For if it is done as a procedure to attain someone to perspirate, it is called as Tapasveda. And there is Upanaha Sweta, which is nothing but the poultice. A particular medicine, specified medicines are made into a paste or something, then bandaged over a particular parts of the body and used for perspiration, is called as Upanaha Sweda. And there is one more type called as Ushma Sweda. Ushma Sweda is nothing but sudation with the steam. So you might have seen a steaming chamber in the hospitals, or there will be a long pipe which is connected to a big vessel or a cooker or something, a cooker kind of vessel, through which the steam is produced, and this steam is shown to the different parts of the patient, and the patient is perspirated. So this is considered under one of the Agni Sweda, because the fire is used in this procedure. And there are Anagni Sweda, where the Agni is used, not used. Anagni Sweda can be sitting inside a room with controlled ventilation, because without ventilation, the person will not be able to inhale or exhale. So there should be a controlled ventilation on a wrapping a cloth over the body, frightening the person, a controlled exercise. So all these during all these procedures, Agni or the fire is not used. So these types of perspiration or the sudation therapy is called as Anagni Sweda. The Svedana procedures has to be done cautiously since excessive sweating can lead to some other diseases. The same in case of all panchakarmas and snehana. It has to be done under supervision of a provisioned vaidya. So panchakarma procedures, all these panchakarma procedures used as both preventive and curative measures. So as a preventive method, these procedures has to be done in season wise. So in a particular season, there is a particular method of panchakarma is mentioned. So if we see the Vasanta Ritu or the spring season, there will be a provoking of kapha dosha. The Vamana or the therapeutic emesis is ideally the choice of treatment. So during the Sharat Ritu, Pitta will get provoked. Virechana is the ideal choice. So again, during the Varsha Ritu or the rainy season, Vata dosha can get provoked and the Basti can be the modality of the treatment. So all these season-wise therapeutic panchakarma, which can be dealt during the Ritucharya and Dinacharya classes. According to the dosha aggravation, one has to choose the panchakarma therapies wisely. If the kapha dosha gets aggravated, Vamana is the ideal choice. And if Pitta gets aggravated, Virechana is the ideal choice. And in case of Vata dosha aggravation, Basti is the ideal choice. And if we consider the Panchamahabhuta constituency of the dravyas or the medicines used in these panchakarma therapies, for Vamana, Agni and Vayu Guna Yukta, the qualities should be, the medicine's quality should be having Agni and Vayu Guna. For purgation therapy, Prithvi and Jala Mahabhuta Guna Yukta, or the qualities with Prithvi and Jala Mahabhuta Guna should be ideally chosen. So if we see the Vamana therapy, which is ideally done for the diseases which are located in the upper parts of the body or the urdhva bhaga. Urdhva means upper part, urdhva means upper, bhaga means part. So urdhva bhaga hara is Vamana, the one which can be a curative, a therapy for the diseases located in the upper parts of the body. For that, Agni and Vayu qualities are used, which is again having the tendency to go upwards, which is lighter in nature. If for the purgation therapy, which is used for the adho bhaga hara, adho means the lower, bhaga means part. The diseases located in the lower parts of the body, normally the purgation therapies are used. In that, the heavy qualities like Prithvi and Jala qualities medicines are used.